Damien Cox joining us live from Toronto. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning, Jody. I hope by heavy hitter, you're not like that's not a weight shot or anything.
No,
right?
no,
That's
you're
just,
svelte,
no,
dude.
Okay.
You're svelte. But you're fearless with your opinions and views, and I think that's what makes you extra special for the Sportsnet team. I'm a huge fan of yours on Twitter. Everybody should follow Damo Spin on Twitter for sure, because I love to get your take, because you don't just follow the crowd. You have an opinion, and I want your opinion on Trevor Linden as president of the Canucks.
Well, I think it's a great choice. I'm a big Trevor Linden fan. He's kind of this wave now we're seeing of, Ron Francis, Brendan Shanahan, Joe Sakic, Patrick Waugh, to Steve Yzerman, players that we were superstars and big stars in this league now coming back. And why are they coming back to run teams? Because guys like Trevor Linden have an awful lot of credibility and hockey IQ. And I just thought it was good in so many ways for the Vancouver Canucks, particularly coming off what was a really, really disappointing and bad season in a lot of ways. So now we sit back and say, okay, Trevor, now what? Who's going to coach? Who's going to manage? How are you going to change this team? And I think he's one of the guys who's going to be a fascinating figure to watch in the National Hockey League over the next couple of years. A lot of talk about Brendan Shanahan in Toronto. Let's see who does better, Shanahan or Linden going forward. It's going to be a great comparison to watch.
Now, do you have a prediction who that might the next domino be in Vancouver as far as GM goes?
Well, I mean, everybody's talking Jim Benning, and that makes a lot of sense in a lot of ways because everybody wants, you go back and forth between different types. He's going to be a draft and develop guy, but he hasn't hired him yet. So, Trevor Linden he has a lot of contacts in hockey, a lot of friends in hockey. I wouldn't be surprised in a lot of ways if there was a bit of a surprise, maybe candidate come up at the end, whether it be as GM or whether it be coach. But it's clear to me that Trevor Linden is not going to be the kind of president who sits back and says, you guys do whatever. He's going to be involved. He's going to bring his hockey instincts to it. And I think that's only good news for the Vancouver Canucks.
I like that. He's not a figurehead. I'm with you on that one. Okay, Pens Rangers last night. Holy smokes, what a game. People want to pin it on Crosby for losing it, but you got to look at the goalie at the other end.
Well, well, exactly. And wasn't he great last night, Henrik Lundqvist? It's interesting. You got hockey fans in Toronto, hockey fans in Vancouver, so disappointed their season. Well, guess what? The disappointment's even bigger in Pittsburgh. How can you have a team with the stars like Crosby and Malkin and end up losing again to a team ranked lower than you? I think you're going to see that team change drastically. And then in New York, it's always good for hockey when the New York Rangers go deep in the playoffs. And Henrik Lundqvist, what a story he is, and what a story Martin St. Louis has been.
Right.
For the Rangers. So there's a lot of talking points going forward with the Rangers. It's going to be a great series next where they play Boston or Montreal. You probably already know who's going to win that series, don't you?
That's a toughie. You know what?
Yeah, it is.
Game 7s are the most exciting experience, having been at the one the Vancouver Canucks played. Got to give props to Coach Alain Vigneault in New York as well, watching him celebrate on the bench. But looking at this afternoon or tonight in Toronto time, Eastern time, what do you expect to happen? Habs Bruins. The Habs certainly keep it alive playing on home ice, but now they go back into Boston.
Well, and I think you and I are kind of alike on this, that whether you grew up as a Montreal Canadian fan or love the Canadiens, we'd like to see a Canadian team do well. And Vancouver wasn't able to pull it off in a Game 7 a couple years ago. Can Montreal pull it off? And this is only the second round tonight. I think they can. And I think they can a lot because of Carey Price, who brought Canada gold medal from Sochi, that he's in the net. I think he's been great. PK Subban. Boy, does anybody like center stage more than this guy? I kind of like Montreal's chances tonight to go into Boston and steal one.
Now let's update our viewers on what's coming up this weekend on Sportsnet in terms of the Memorial Cup. There are some great and sad stories involved in what we're about to watch.
Well, yeah, I mean, and look, the Kelowna Rockets were a great BC story, and we thought maybe they'd be here. Well, they didn't get here, and it's going to be the Edmonton Oil Kings coming to London to represent the West. London and Guelph from Ontario, and the Quebec League champion, the Val-d'Or Foreurs. Another year where you've got a lot of talented players of the future. And for Canucks fans, Bo Horvat, the center for the London Knights, he's going to be involved again. London as the host nation. Horvat was the guy they got in the Corey Schneider trade. Sorry to bring up Corey Schneider and the goaltending thing again, but Horvat will be there. He'll be great to watch. He might be a Canuck as soon as next year.
So here's when you can watch it. The details we'll bring in this weekend on Sportsnet. Here's a graphic board that you can make note, put it in your day timer for this. And Damien, we always love having you on the show. @DamoSpin is how you follow Damien Cox on Twitter. And now you will find him on Sportsnet as a full-time contributor. We couldn't be more proud and happy to have you on the team.
Thanks, Jody. Always great to talk to you, and hope to see you soon.
Yeah, when you come to town, make sure you come and hang out with us here on Breakfast Television. Cheers, Damo. Thanks.